Oh my gosh, let's see if this is working. Let's hope that this Rode mic is working, because I've been trying to record this Insecure finale. I tried to record it while I was in London, but it just didn't happen because I was too overwhelmed. It's a mess. Not working. Y'all don't care about this. Y'all just like, girl, where you been? What's good? Let's get into this. I'm now in Brooklyn. I'm still not home, clearly the background. So I'm not in my most comfortable setting, but we'll see how this goes and just get into it. So I appreciated the breakup of this episode. I like that they did like the 30-day, well, wasn't a fast forward. We got like a 30-day preview of each of the main characters. I liked how it was handled, even though in this series, I don't feel like we've ever really gotten an understanding of how much time has passed. I don't know that that's crucial to the storyline, but it was good that at least this time we knew how much time was passed, and so it adds a better hella perspective to where the characters are intersecting and going. And there were a lot of little nods and notes and inside jokes happening on this episode. We see you, Tiffany and Derek. I don't really need to see more of Tiffany or Derek, but I would actually like the mask to come off of their relationship when they like to front like they are the ish. So, ooh, gentrification beginning to everybody, girl. We feel for you in Inglewood. I would, Issa. So I guess they start off with Lawrence. His ease at which he falls into situationships is just like, bruh. First of all, Lawrence needs to get better friends next season. We need Lawrence. You know what? That would actually probably be a good plot line, because there is a commentary to be had about how difficult it is to make friends in your 30s. And clearly Lawrence ain't got no good friends, because Chad's hilarious. He got two light-skinned house cat of a friend. Chad got the humor. I don't know what Derek is offering. Derek ain't even really his friend, but neither of them give good advice. So with Derek, can we just talk about that just up front, get this out the way, because Derek and Tiffany aren't really consequential to the entire series, but that was like the, ooh, what's happening here? Because Derek said Tiffany had a Fred at work, and when they were talking about Aparna and Colin, and Chad telling Lawrence that he needs to check Aparna about Colin. It's let me stay on track here because we're talking about Derek. We're gonna get back to the partner. But Derek's who's Fred? Then Tiffany is supposed to be at Issa's house watching Due North. Hilarious. We all hate slavery, girl. When they were at the race with Kelly, who caught her period like that, and Derek is grossed out by them talking about her period. It's like, sir, if you stick your dick in a coochie, you need to be in awe of its self-cleaning abilities and not disgusted. And then when they were like, they stopped trying, and then they got drunk enough one night to try again. So like, y'all not really, I get not trying, because trying just means you have sex in a certain period of time when a woman's ovulating. So you follow a calendar versus just kind of having sex when the feeling strikes you. But the way they said it kind of implied that like, are they not having sex? Girl, Derek is just weird. The Dubois, bougie ass black folks, like, okay. But back to Lawrence and Aparna. The problem with this whole scenario is that Lawrence knew Aparna had hooked up with Colin beforehand. It doesn't matter how many times. He knew that they had sex. You already knew. She was already upfront about it before even, I have clothes on, y'all. Oh my gosh. Before even getting into the situationship with Aparna, he already knew about her hooking up with Colin. It was never a secret. So either you accept her as she is, or you don't. You can't pick a fight with her at the most inconvenient of times to then try to question her about your own insecurities. It's just like, the only time Lawrence makes his own decisions is when they're based on his insecurities. He never makes his decisions firmly, confidently on his own. He always just goes with the flow. It's whoever falls into his lap. And he keeps just realizing how he ain't even slick neither. Is that why him and Issa went together? Neither of them is slick. But Lawrence just ain't smooth enough to ever check anyone, especially when he allows his insecurities to rule how he ever makes decisions, when he really makes decisions in the first place. Then we have Molly, who I thought it was hilarious when she was at Kelly's race. And they were trying to figure out where Kelly was, and she really finished the race already. And she's like, damn, it's Kelly Kenyon. And all I could think about was Evelyn and her skinny ankles. Molly and Little Rel, you know, that storyline, it's like, I get the point they're trying to make, and I don't disagree with the point they're trying to make. I just actually I don't think Molly and Lil Rel as Quentin go together. Like, and I don't know, maybe if like, I keep seeing Little Rel, which is why I don't even want to call him by the character name he playing. But then on top of it, I'm wondering, like, if I met a dude like Lil Rel who was educated and a lawyer, made good money, would I look at him differently? Like, would I be able to date him? I don't know. But Molly called Lil Rel a homie. And I actually feel like that wasn't like an unfair critique. But I'm just so happy, so happy she was back at the therapist with that beautiful bookshelf that I want in my own home. Therapist with the titties, girl, with the brown titties, girl. I'm so happy to see her again. But when a therapist says that she should get out of the should and live in the could, it was like, ah. And I think that means that we we as Black women are just putting so many boundaries as we exist in this world, that the boundaries that we then put on ourselves often comes from the boundaries that society puts on us, and that these ideals that aren't our own, and then we limit where we could go and who we could be and what we could do. And see, that's why you can live in the could. So I don't believe the therapist meant live in the could as in go sit on Lil Rel's dick. I didn't think that. I mean, you could, you know, the power is in the pussy, but like, sis, I don't think that was that to give him some sympathy. Sex was what the therapist was recommending, but I guess Hennessy and chicken wings will do that to you. As much as I want to say Dro don't make sense, having gone through my own situations with men who clearly have girlfriends, and then them hitting you up talking about, I miss you, do you miss me? And it's like, what is there to miss? You can never be mine. How do I miss you? How do you miss me? You don't. I'm an object to you. And I think that's what's really happening here with Dro and Molly, is that, I mean, Molly is objectifying herself. And okay, sis, for y'all that are in open relationships, do y'all allow the emotion, do y'all have a cutoff about like emotionally where the open relationships can go? Like, is there a discussion about, all right, we are allowing this period for you to explore your sexuality or whatever, but I am always the one that trumps any of your other relationships emotionally? That's really my issue here, is that it just doesn't seem like Candace knows. And there is clearly an emotional attachment that's just gonna get Molly burnt in the end. And I'm still mad that she used Lil Rel to try to get over Dro, just because he texts I miss you, and you can't be, girl, when she makes a good decision, does it always have to be buoyed by a questionable decision, right? That because she did the right thing and not replying to Dro, she needs to make up for it by sleeping with Rel, because she just can't set her own standards on her own. Like, what is going on with Molly? And what is this new Issa song they was playing? Girl, I need that song. But Molly just loves having sex with her clothes on, and I can't for the life of me figure out why, girl. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my ministry. They made sure though to get that condom shot though with. Was that when she was having sex with Lil Rel? Or did we know who she was having sex with in that scene? Because she was in the bed by herself, laid her head back down. You see the open condom laying on the dresser, but we don't know who she's talking to. And I didn't. What did I miss in that scene there? What am I missing? I do wish that they would just show more of her career aspect. Like the first season when they had the intern that kind of was just doing too much. Molly to talk to her, Molly kind of said no, and then she just disappeared, and we never really delved into that further. I think, you know, I personally have said out loud plenty of times that we as Black women get talked at a lot about intimate relationships, and so many of our other relationships matter. And I think we kind of, you know, Molly's whole storyline about being the Black, career-minded, can't get her love life together woman is cliche to the nth degree, but I think, you know, we kind of go with it because we do get aspects of these other, the family relationships, the friendships, especially with having a shitty friend like Issa, you know, even in her chase of Dro, it's like, you know, a manifestation of a platonic turning sexual relationship. But we kind of get a nod to her career, but I just feel like I would rather that kind of take more of a forefront than this whole kind of sexual philandering she does. I just don't. It's like, you know, it's a lot to talk about, it's a lot to unpack, but I also just think there are so many other important elements that we have been exposed to of Molly that I would love for us to delve deeper in without it revolving around sex. Am I making sense? That would be like my one like strongest critique of Insecure. So I'm hoping going into next season that they don't just kind of dead this whole thing with her job and giving her a Rising Star award and then she hops over to the Black agency. I kind of would love to see more of that transition, because there's a lot to unpack, but there are things to unpack, and them giving her the Rising Award star simply because they noticed she was going on other interviews, it's like they still don't value her, and them giving her a Rising Award star where she's going to be featured on the agency website does more for them than it does anything for her. In those scenarios, do we just leave? Especially in an industry that is very much built on your connections and your network, and that you don't as a lawyer want to ever leave your law firm and not be able to call on your peers when different cases arise. Where your network matters so much, I do feel like there is more of a storyline there into how she goes about leaving and choosing where she goes. I would have loved to see kind of how she handles dealing with such obtuse white privileged male bosses. more so than I would like to see Dro in his square backside, but you know, that is what it is. That Due North series though, girl, I love that it's a show within a show with Regina Hall, who we all love from Girls Trip, and that whole lesbian antebellum storyline is just so over the top. I think it's kind of like a nod or some shade at all our favorite TGI Thursday, and then shows from the Shondaland to even to Underground. Girl, why am I running blank like I ain't actually watched that show? I actually appreciate Issa's voicemail that she left, even though it came through at the most inopportune time. Lawrence did that to himself though. They both, Lawrence and Issa, they be playing the shit out themselves. Maybe they just eternally is meant for each other. But to the point of like, oftentimes I feel like when you are in situations where you have decided to break someone off, and especially for women, I feel like men don't really take it well when we decide to leave, even when it's they ancient ways that have caused us to walk away from the situation. And I'm saying men because I'm a woman who dates men, where they just want to have access to you, where they kind of objectify you and they'll hit you up consistently, and you'll think, okay, well maybe they do want to talk, maybe it's something, but they're vague and they never say what they actually want to talk about. And I think to the credit of Issa's voicemail is that if your ex really has something of value to say to you, really has anything of importance that is worth your time, they will make it clear when they reach out to you. And Issa very clearly made her point about why she was contacting Lawrence and him coming to get his stuff, or if he went to the couch, she felt like he deserved to happen. I felt like that was fine, like a grown-up moment. A grown-up moment. Lawrence with the Carl Thomas turtleneck in the summertime, summer rain. Okay, sis, is this normal LA clothing? I don't know what's happening here. The apology scene, I appreciate it, but I don't know if it was realistic, because to me it's like, I didn't see anything in their character arcs that led to this maturation, because that was a pretty mature, you can hear all this background noise, bruh. That was a pretty mature apology, and so I appreciated what they talk about. I just don't know that if in real life characters like Issa and Lawrence would have really gotten to that point without the help of a therapist, without some soul seeking, without some real moments of reflection that we just never saw between these two characters. But Lawrence, the sorry I wasn't who you or I expected. Like, okay. They both were vulnerable in their own awkward, insecure ways. That's why the show is called Insecure. But I was just so happy that they could have this like real moment with each other and it not lead to like making out and sex. Like, it didn't move to the Hollywood ending. It was very kind of real in that it still does have this, you can say all this, get it off your chest, and it doesn't necessarily need like a solidified reaction. I mean, they both apologized to each other and said what they had to say, but it wasn't like, I need to know where you want to go from here right now. Like, I still love you. All right, I'm gonna give you time to unpack that. You know, I appreciated that. But that whole montage, was it in Issa's dream of them being married, like the Obamas, that Obama shot with them laying on the couch, her hair finally done correctly. Girl, I was loving it. They actually looked cute and it was beautiful. They had a cute little brown baby. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I love it, but I don't see it for y'all. Like, I think they go together, but I don't think they go together. Like, I think they go together in their ain't shit qualities. Not that they go together because like they better each other, really. I still want them to all get therapists. Everybody on the show needs to go to therapy. I caught the Frank Ocean lyric, too many bottles of this wine we can't pronounce. Did we know that Amal was gay? I wasn't shocked, but I don't know that I caught the hint from when Issa had that house party and how he responded to Kelly. It would be cool if he was just like non-binary sexually. Like if he was just doing his own thing, we could explore that. I love Amal's humor, and I think it would be great to see more of Amal and Issa's relationship, especially because Issa just is so shitty on all relationship fronts that maybe understanding the relationship she has with her own family, because family relationships matter, would be a good plot line. How do we feel about Issa telling Lawrence that she still loves him, apologizing, feeling that that was a really real moment, her inability to then stay with her brother for even like a week? Like, how is your family relationship that fucked up? Like, come on, me and my brother and my sister, we agitate the ish out of each other all the time, but trust that they didn't have nowhere to stay. Like, they would be staying at my house on my couch. Like, even though my brother is messy, he leaves a trail of tissues everywhere. It's how you can figure out when Nathaniel done been in the house. I would still let him stay with me. And I don't think he would leave simply because I would set some like ground rules, like, bruh, can you like flush the toilet? Put the toilet seat down. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just think we have an understanding of our sibling relationship. So even when we agitate each other, we can still like live with each other, at least until we get our feet back on the ground. So how is Issa ending up back at Daniel's? And what does that mean? You just told your ex that you still love him and you're trying to figure your ish out. But how would we judge Lawrence if Lawrence had turned around and had Tasha or Aparna back over right after that scene with Issa? I want to know, one, why she couldn't tough it out at Amal's, and two, is she using Daniel? Like, is he gonna get his feelings hurt in this scenario? And I think maybe we tend to, in the scope of things, be more forgiving of the woman in this scenario, because it's really easy for Daniel to kind of, I think Daniel won't have any problem finding a woman or moving on, but it kind of goes back to how we don't even give men their own emotional bandwidth to understand that hurting them is never okay either. You know, it's not, we would never approve of Daniel taking advantage of Issa, so why would it be okay for Issa now to take advantage of Daniel and stay with him? I think it's the power dynamics of how we view sex and domination and submission and men's ability to move on to other women versus a woman. I think maybe it's because we just don't, we look so down on Issa and her inability to get it together that we might forgive her for just really shitty behavior all in all. All right, let me know, where would you like to see the show go in season 3? What are some of the relationships that you would like to see explore more outside the intimate relationships? I don't actually need Molly or Issa or Lawrence or anybody to end up with anyone at all. I need therapy. I need them to all become better friends. I actually think Molly is a good friend, even though I've heard other people say that they don't think Molly is a good friend. And I love that everyone is talking about how much they love Kelly and they wanted Kelly in their group, and I feel like all y'all hoes is lying, all of y'all, because I think we love the actress that plays Kelly. She's a doll. Kelly in real life though, because as a turn-up friend, as a friend that sometimes be doing a whole lot and be here for the shits and giggles, and the way people nah, I'm telling y'all don't really want it. Y'all don't. Y'all lying. All right, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Deuces.